Sister, picture this. You're in the middle of one of those endless arguments where 1 minute he's pointing fingers and the next he's acting like you're the crazy one. But instead of breaking down, you just stop and laugh. Not because it's funny, but because if you don't laugh, you might cry. Sounds absurd, right? That's the chaos narcissists bring. But here's the secret weapon. Laughing through it all can actually set you free. Now, I know that might sound strange, but trust me, sister, this laughing through the madness is your secret weapon. It's the key to surviving and thriving through the narcissistic chaos. Let me show you how laughing can be your strength and your shield. Let's be real. How many times have you been blamed for something absurd? Maybe he accused you of not cooking his favorite dish, or you dared to question where the money went, and suddenly you're the disrespectful wife. You're left exhausted and confused, trying to make sense of the drama he keeps creating. You keep apologizing, you keep trying to fix it, but nothing ever changes. You end up carrying the burden of all the arguments, the accusations, and the silent treatment. But here's the thing, sister, you're not crazy. You don't need to bear this weight. You can laugh at the chaos, and that's going to make all the difference. The more you laugh, the less control he has over your emotions. The more you laugh, the less his chaos affects you. Trust me, this simple tool can reclaim your peace and help you take back control of your life. You might be wondering, how can laughter be holy? But sister, let me remind you, Jesus himself used wisdom and humor to deal with the chaos of his day. When the Pharisees tried to trap him, he didn't argue or fight back. Instead, he used wisdom and humor to expose their lies and move on with his mission. And think about Sarah. When God promised her a child, she laughed at the impossibility of it all, but God still gave her the blessing, and she gave birth to Isaac, which means laughter, Genesis 21 verse 6. God used laughter to bring about a miracle in her life. Sister, God doesn't mind your laughter. Sometimes laughter is a sign of faith that you know the storm is temporary and peace is coming. Just like Sarah, your laughter could be the beginning of your breakthrough. So now, let's talk about how you can actually use laughter as your shield in the face of narcissistic chaos. The next step is all about taking back your power, and trust me, it's simpler than you think. Let's dive into how you can start laughing through the madness and regain your peace, starting today. Sister, let's talk about laughter, but not just the kind that makes you smile at a joke or funny movie. I'm talking about using laughter as a weapon. You see, when you're living in a chaotic, narcissistic relationship, everything feels like a battle, and the narcissist's goal is to drag you down emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. They want you to stay stressed, confused, and exhausted so that you can't think clearly. But here's the secret. Laughter is your shield. It's not just about finding joy in tough moments. It's about taking control of the chaos and reclaiming your peace. Laughter becomes a way of saying, I'm not going to let this affect me. I know it may sound strange at first, but laughter is a powerful tool for self-preservation. Narcissists thrive when they trigger your emotions. They feed off of your anger, your frustration, and your tears. But when you laugh, even at the most ridiculous situations, you take away their control. You're telling them, I see your nonsense, but I'm not going to let it break me. Now, laughing through chaos doesn't mean you're not taking things seriously. No, sister. It means that you're choosing to disengage from the emotional manipulation that the narcissist is trying to use on you. It's about finding the absurdity in their behavior and detaching emotionally so that they no longer have the power to control your peace. Imagine you're a warrior in the middle of a battlefield. You've got armor on, and the weapons they throw at you don't touch you because you're protected. That's what laughter does for you. It's your armor. It protects your mental and emotional state. So when the narcissist comes at you with one of their outrageous demands or insults, instead of getting sucked into the drama, just laugh, inside or even out loud, and think, this is not real. It's like a deflection shield against their attacks. You're no longer giving them the emotional reaction they're looking for. You're choosing peace over chaos. Sister, let's dive deep into laughter as your secret weapon. I know it sounds strange, but using laughter as a tool of empowerment can help you disarm the narcissist's chaos and take control of your emotional peace. It's not just about giggling when something is funny. It's about choosing to laugh in the face of manipulation, control, and stress. Today, I'm going to show you how to use laughter in different ways to protect yourself and reclaim your peace. Laugh silently in your mind. The first approach to using laughter is silently in your mind. This form of laughter helps you detach emotionally without making the narcissist feel like you're mocking or undermining them. You laugh in your mind, which prevents you from reacting to their manipulation, while also protecting your peace and maintaining control over the situation. Now, sister, this doesn't mean you have to burst out laughing in his face when he's in the middle of an argument. No. Instead, this approach is about mentally detaching yourself from the emotional chaos he's trying to stir up. You'll laugh inside because you know how ridiculous the situation is, and you can refuse to let it affect your peace. Here's what this looks like. Picture this. Your husband starts a fight over something completely trivial, like whether or not you cooked his favorite soup the right way. He raises his voice, goes on, making it seem like the world is ending. Instead of getting upset, you just stop and mentally laugh. You know this is nonsense. You know his drama isn't worth your emotional energy. You don't get dragged in. Instead of matching his energy, you mentally laugh, thinking, really? But this is what he's stressing about. It's like when your neighbor's goat keeps stealing your clothes off the line. You shout, you get upset, but then you realize it's a goat. And at that moment, you laugh. You don't take the situation seriously anymore. Same with your husband's drama. Don't feed into it, laugh at it mentally, and hold your peace. When you need to stay composed and avoid escalating the situation, example, when he starts a ridiculous accusation like, "You never helped me," you laugh internally and think, "I'm doing everything here and he thinks he's the victim." Hilarious. This allows you to stay calm and not engage with the nonsense. So, next time he starts drama, try laughing inside. Recognize the absurdity and stay in control of your emotions. You don't have to react or get upset. You can laugh it off mentally and take back your peace. The second approach is to smile at him and stay unbothered. This approach is perfect when you need to remain composed while showing him that you're not affected by his manipulation. A smile is a subtle but powerful way to communicate that you're not affected by his manipulation. It shows that his drama doesn't have power over you without directly confronting him. Example, if he's ranting about something trivial like you didn't do his laundry right, smile and think to yourself, "I'm not going to feed into this nonsense," and allow the absurdity of the situation to disarm him. Smiling at him can throw him off because narcissists often expect emotional reactions like anger or tears. By simply smiling and keeping your calm, you're telling him, "Your drama doesn't affect me." Let's say he's going on and on about how wonderful he is, claiming he's the best provider and how you should be grateful. Instead of arguing or showing frustration, you just smile. You recognize that this is his attempt to inflate his ego, but you're not going to feed into it. You smile and think, "This is just his show. I'm not playing his game." Narcissists are like that. They're constantly trying to feed their ego. Your smile is your way of saying, "I'm not moved by this." So when the next time he starts his ego trip, just smile. Let him do his show, but stay unbothered. Smile as a way of maintaining control and peace. 3. Laugh out loud to disarm his manipulation. This one is for when you really need to disarm his manipulation. Laugh out loud. You can laugh out loud when you need to diffuse tension or disrupt his attempts at controlling you through manipulation or gaslighting. In other words, this works when he's trying to gaslight you or when he's accusing you of something outrageous or just being ridiculous. Laughing out loud confuses them. They expect you to defend yourself, but instead, when you laugh, you completely disarm them. You're telling them, "This is not my battle, and I'm not going to let you control my emotions." Laughing out loud catches the narcissist off guard and often throws them off balance because they expect emotional reactions like anger or tears. By laughing out loud, you're refusing to give them the emotional response they want. Here's a great example. Let's say he accuses you of cheating based on nothing but his dream. Instead of getting defensive or starting a big argument, you just laugh out loud and say something like, "Wait, what? Are you serious? You're accusing me based on a dream?" It's hilarious, right? You laugh because you see how ridiculous the accusation is, and you stop the emotional drain right there. This allows you to control the narrative and prevents him from escalating the situation. So when he starts accusing you of something outlandish or trying to manipulate you, just laugh out loud. It's your emotional defense. It makes you feel empowered and it throws him off balance. Which one should you choose? It depends on the situation. If you need to protect your peace and keep things low-key, laugh silently in your mind and smile. If you're feeling more confident and want to disrupt his manipulation, laugh out loud. Smiling is a safe middle ground that communicates you're not bothered without saying a word. The key is finding humor in the ridiculousness of the situation. Narcissists rely on emotional control. When you laugh, you're taking back that control and refusing to be emotionally manipulated. You're choosing peace, laughter, and power over chaos and stress. Sister, laughter is not just a coping mechanism. It's a tool of empowerment. Laughing helps you reclaim your peace, dissolve manipulation, and stop narcissistic drama from affecting your emotional well-being. When you laugh, you are taking back control of your emotions and you are telling the narcissist, "You do not get to control my peace anymore." If this video helped you, share it with a sister who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more tips on dealing with narcissistic abuse with peace, laughter, and strength. And don't forget to join our free anonymous Telegram group, where we can support each other and share our journeys together. You are not alone, sister. Let's laugh, heal, and move forward in freedom together.